All right, so I guess we'll
Perfect.
get started with everything. So yeah, welcome to, I guess, the Imagine Education podcast, where yeah, we're going to show everyone really how to make money with AI models in this new booming industry. We're going to be sharing more secrets and really interviewing student success stories, other people who are influential in this arena as well, potentially designers and other stuff coming forward. This is the first episode, so yeah, we're really just kicking this off, something brand new we're starting.
The AI warlord.
So yeah, it made sense for us to just get one of our most recent successful students on here, and really pick their brain, really see why they got into this, really see the results that they're getting, and also just really, talk. We talked a little bit before about some things, so yeah, really just discuss some of that as well. But yeah, I guess with that said, I guess we'll kick things off. So yeah, we can get started. So I guess let us know your name, I guess some basic information about you, where you're from, your background story, and yeah, we'll just kick off from there.
So my name is I'm 27 years old. I'm from Canada. I have a background in working in the automotive industry, sales side of things, very much a 9 to 5 job. That's what I've been doing for most of my adult life. Didn't go to university or college. I spent some time living in Asia and Europe when I was younger, and just got into this business model looking to make some extra cash on the side.
Awesome. Awesome. Nice. And I guess with this, like the automotive industry, I'm in the same place. Like I'm in Canada and, I've worked in sales before and all this stuff. So I can understand, we talked a little bit about this, right? In some cases there can be kind of, like a little bit of, I guess, a stigma attached to this sort of thing. You know what I'm saying? But what we talked about, it's like, people start to see the results and it's like, okay, fair enough. It is actually like a legitimate thing that you're doing, and it is something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. It's there was some interesting reactions with some of my close friends and stuff when I told them I was doing this to start, and then the first few months I didn't have very many results, but it's all a process. But now when I show people what I'm making doing this, a lot of people want to know how,
Yeah.
what the secret is, how do I do it quickly? I've had a few people, oh, that must be nice, easy income. I go, well, it wasn't easy at all.
Yeah.
It was quite difficult, but once you can do it, and it is totally possible to do, um, it is a legitimate way to make money.
Awesome. And I guess with your day-to-day life, like what does that look like? Like, I guess just working 9 to 5 while running this, like, kind of paint us a picture, I guess, of, what that looks like. Because I know you also mentioned you have a kind of a new family as well. Congrats on that. But
Yeah,
I guess,
thank you.
paint us a picture, I guess, of, what life looked like before you even discovered this business model and discovered our mentorship.
Yeah. Well, my life hasn't changed that much. I mean, my day-to-day life is just a lot of work. Um, the difference is now I'm working on something that's also working for me, so that's a great feeling. But even before I did this business model, I was experimenting with other online business
Mhm.
models, drop shipping, digital drop shipping, crypto trading, affiliate marketing, all the stuff you've heard of.
Yeah.
And I saw limited degrees of success with each of those, some a bit more than other, but nothing like what I'm doing now, where I'm making consistent money in actual sizable figures. I mean, when I tried drop shipping, I was selling a lot, but I wasn't
Mhm.
making a lot. I was spending
Yeah.
a lot on ads. But my day-to-day life is I wake up, I work on my AI business, I go to my job, I come home, and I continue to work on my AI business. But I love work, and that's always what I've done.
Yeah.
I'm very thankful to have work to do. So
Yeah.
my life now is there's more work than before when I started, but also more money. So
Yeah.
it,
Exactly.
it all evens out.
That's a good mindset to have though, right? Because I guess a lot of people, they think, oh, it's going to be easy with this, right? So I guess with you, you kind of already had that built into you where, you already had that work ethic, I guess, right? Because you've tried other business models, right? And even then you mentioned, you did get some success in those other ones. I think is that like an important thing I think that you feel sets you aside from, other people who haven't been successful at this point?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, I think everyone has it in them and it's
Yeah.
possible to unlock, but it's unlocking it that can be difficult. When you come into this, it's not, oh, in 3 months I'm going to be posting on Instagram 2 times a day and I'm going to quit my job and go do that and that. It is a lot of work and you have to be committed to it to make it work. And you need a good work ethic, especially you have to be disciplined as well. You can have all the
Yeah.
coaches and people showing you stuff, but at the end of the day, you're the one who has to wake up and do this
Yeah.
stuff. So
Okay,
yeah.
got it. And I guess with that, like, you probably sacrifice other things. Like, I don't know if you have any hobbies or anything, but like, do you have to kind of put those to the side and just really like work, work, work? Like, is that the way you've always been, or?
That's basically the way I've always been. I don't have too many hobbies other than work,
Yeah.
to be honest. It sounds pretty lame. I don't know. I don't really go out with my friends for dinner
Yeah.
anymore, but I wasn't doing that
Yeah.
before either that much. I stopped
Totally.
doing that years ago. It's this is my hobby in a
Yeah.
sense, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, I'm the same way, right? I mean, we're both Canadian, right? I know in Canada it's like, oh, the Olympics and stuff. And I'm like, I don't care about the Olympics. I
Yeah.
don't really care about sports anymore. I don't care about all these other things. It's kind of like you put those on the back burner, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't even know the Olympics was on until a
Yeah.
couple days ago, and someone told me. And also living in Canada too, it's important to have a side hustle that makes money because it's very expensive to live here.
Definitely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the cost of living has skyrocketed like the last, even just the last 2, 3 years. And yeah, I
Hmm.
mean, the last decade for sure, it's been crazy with inflation.
Yeah,
So yeah, it is something, where you're basically at this point, it's like you're forced to work a full-time job and then also have, you need some sort of like side hustle just to make some money on the side. And yeah, just I guess have an extra stream of income.
yeah, and for me, like I don't treat it. It is kind of my side hustle, but
Yeah.
I try not to treat it like a side hustle. It is a legitimate
Yeah.
thing I'm doing on the side. I mean, when
Yeah.
I got into this, my plan wasn't I got to be out of my job in three
Mhm.
months or something. That
Mhm.
wasn't my mindset. My mindset
Yeah.
was I just wanted to make more money and do
Yeah.
something consistent, right?
Yeah, that's a good mindset to have, right? Where it's like, okay, like whatever happens, happens.
Yeah,
But I think with this, like, do you feel that you've learned a lot too, just about like technology and a lot of these other like AI things as well? Because some of these tools, you just see how quickly this space changes. So, like, is it something where, I guess you've learned other new skills that new side skills, I guess, at the same time, right?
totally. I mean, I had no experience with AI or anything other than like using ChatGPT
Yeah.
before I started this. And but not only on the AI side, like social media marketing as
Mm.
well, and Instagram and how that sort of stuff works. I'm not a very social media savvy person either. Don't really use personal social media. I mean, I do like I scroll Instagram reels sometimes on my own phone, stuff like that. But I've never really grown anything on social media. So
Mm.
for me, even more than the AI side, that's been the coolest skill to learn is how to kind of grow and scale accounts and go viral. Like I had
Yeah.
one reel on one of my accounts do 8 million views, which is
Yeah.
just it blows
Crazy.
my mind. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
For someone who, like I said, I didn't use social media really
Yeah.
before doing this. And
Yeah.
then the AI side is cool too. Yeah. Some of my friends and stuff, they see the reels that I've made and they go, like, how do you even do that? And I'm like, well, there's a process, but it's yeah,
Yeah.
you learn it. It's very cool, very interesting. And it's obviously new technology. So these are good skills to have. And the social media side translates well into a lot of other stuff.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Yeah, some of these skills that you get are just very important. And yeah, there is still the technical thing where you try it out a few times, right? I'm sure you've tried this where it's like, do the image, okay, that's not what I want. Change the prompt, okay, that's really what I want. The first video didn't do well, second one did well, and then you just have like a third version, I guess, and you're like, okay, this one just looks a lot better. And that's just the way that is. I'm sure in the future it'll be where don't use as many credits or whatever, and you get a better
Yeah.
outcome a lot quicker. But that is one thing. Awesome. I'm curious, like, how did you discover this business model? Was it something where, like, did you see us on like YouTube or did you see an ad? I'm just really curious there, like how this, I guess, fell into your lap and how you found us and just found this business model in general.
I think I came across Kyle on Instagram.
Okay, same, yeah.
I mean, my feed has always been full of like, business opportunities
Same.
and stuff
Yep.
like that, because
Yep.
that's what I've been
Yeah.
interested in. And I think I joined the mentorship program in July of 2025. So it must have been sometime just before then, because I know as soon as I found out about it, I think I was in within a week.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I want to say it was just Instagram organically came across it. And then at that time, I feel like there was a lot of people pushing it. Like I was seeing people wearing ski masks and stuff,
Yeah, same.
advertising
Yeah.
courses and that sort of stuff. But Kyle seemed the most legit. And then I hopped on the call and I could tell it was legit.
Yeah,
So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, because there's a lot of people in this business space where it's like, oh, okay, like that's why with me, I'm just like, I'm just gonna start showing my face. People aren't gonna be like, hey, like, you're a degenerate. It's like, no, they're just gonna see, I'm a regular dude. And it's like, yeah, I just want to, make some money. I want to just do something, have a little bit
yeah,
of a side income, basically, right? For me,
not
it,
a
exploded quickly. Yeah.
not a ski mask on, flashing a watch at the
Yeah,
camera,
that's
buy
the
my
thing. That's the thing,
$10
right? I'm
PDF.
I'm like I'm such a regular guy. Like I'm so anti-guru, you know what I'm saying? Where I see these
Yeah.
guys and it immediately just like turns me off. I see anyone on a yacht or driving like a fancy car or yeah, flashing their Rolex in my face and I'm just like, nah, like this is not the way you do that, right? Which is why, I see other regular people where it's just like a regular dude being like, hey, here's the model, here's the basics of how it works, right? Here's the expectations. It's explained in a very, simple, straightforward way,
Yeah.
which really, is one reason why I think I got into this as well.
Yeah.
Cool. And I guess with this, like when it comes to drop shipping, I guess is like how did that go? I'm very curious there because I've done drop shipping before, like with that where you I guess I with that I know there's like low ticket stuff and high ticket stuff. So I'm curious like what you were doing there, and how what that looked like.
I did like three separate stores over the course of 2 years. It was
Okay.
all fairly low ticket stuff. Like I did a golf niche store,
Mm,
like a gym niche, and then like a crafting store.
okay.
And it was cool. Uh, like I said, I both all three of the stores I did made some money, but I was spending a lot on ads.
Yeah.
I never did well organically. So it's like, okay, oh, I broke 10K this month, but when you actually look at what I made, it was like $600,
Exactly. Yeah.
$500. And I will say the one thing that's helped me with the AI method and these online influencers and models is that I've been maybe it sounds weird, but I've enjoyed the work part of it more
Hmm.
than I did selling like a
Yeah.
golf bag, you know. Um, and then I love the instant delivery too. Like when someone purchases something on FanView or whatever, it's like, hey, boom, they've got the product. That transaction's done. That's great. I hated drop shipping, having to wait 2 to 3 weeks to get it to someone. You get emails of pissed off people.
Yeah.
People would get the products too, and they or chargebacks, that sort of stuff. They didn't like it, and it was just a massive headache. And
Yeah.
then trying to track the ad spend and all of that and make it work was just
Yeah.
crazy. And then actually, I think when I discovered this, what I was really looking into was digital drop shipping because I wanted to look at selling a product digitally
Hmm.
where I didn't have to rely on shipping it. And then I kind of came across this and thought, okay, well, this is kind of like digital drop shipping in a
Yeah.
sense, but it's just a different type of product, which really piqued my interest. And then, of course, this whole business model, it's all high impulse buying and stuff, and
Yeah.
people spend crazy amounts of money.
Yeah.
Like
I know what you're saying.
I
Yeah.
had a guy spend $1,000 on my model in like 2 hours the other day. It's just
Jeez.
insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've had those before. It's funny with those spenders too, because I don't know if you've noticed this, but they'll come in like they won't be around for a while, like they won't be around for a week or two, and they'll just come in and it's like a buying frenzy that one time, right, where they're there for
Yeah.
an hour or two, 3 4 hours, and they just like I remember having one guy where it was this is when I did all the chatting, and this guy, I don't know if you do this, but like when I'm on the chatting, sometimes when I first started I was like creating the AI where he would ask for something, I would be
Right.
like I would be like, oh, hold on a second, right? And I would be ignoring all the other chats, focusing on this guy because I knew he was a spender, create
Yeah.
that content right then and there and be like, hey man, like, like here, is this what you want? And he'd be like, this is exactly what I want, right? Like, boom, buy it and then send a tip right after. And it's like, okay, right. And then wouldn't see him for a week or two, come back, same thing. Have you
Yeah.
noticed that same sort of thing with these guys or?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many. I've had high spenders who've stuck around for a long time,
Yeah,
and spent a lot. There's other ones I've found where people come in, drop $200-300 in like 20 minutes, and then delete their accounts, and they're
I've
gone
had that happen so
for,
many
for
times. Yeah, yeah,
forever.
exactly.
Well, I don't mind, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't do much of the. Actually, I don't do any of the chatting. That was the very
Okay.
first thing that I
Okay.
outsourced, just because I work so much, and I when I
Totally.
when I started doing this, I thought, yeah, I'm going to do the content creation, I'm going to do the chatting, I'm
Yeah,
going to
you
do
can't
all of
do it
it.
all. Yeah.
No, I very quickly realized
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm never going to scale without
Yeah.
having help chatting. And I didn't like, I tried to do it. I don't know. I might have made one sale on my account myself, but when I wasn't enjoying it, and two, I was like, I can't do these chats and make content and
Yeah.
go to work full time.
Yeah.
It doesn't, it's literally not possible.
Yeah, I actually tried to do that, and trust me, like like literally, I would be sleeping 1 2 hours a night because the thing is, I noticed when you're doing that, like you just I don't know, you have this buyer, you have like a seller's high after, right? Again, you've been in sales,
Yeah.
right? After
Oh
you
yeah.
close a big deal, right? You kind of have this high and just this your self image is just through the roof. Like I would have those times, and I would stay up super late and just be like, oh man, like can't believe I sold that much. Like what's the next step for me in the business? For me though, it was like I wanted to learn every aspect, and then I realized I'm like, look, like I'm gonna burn myself out, like. First thing I need to get off of my plate, obviously, is the chatting. It's taking up
Yeah.
most of the time, frees up all my time for creation and marketing, and you really go from there. Yeah,
And I think the chatting is good for someone to learn if they're just getting into this, if they have the
definitely.
time, if they
Yeah,
have the time. But it's also one of the first things I think you can outsource. And especially if you're someone like myself, when I came into it and you are super busy, and you've got a full-time job or you've got
yeah,
kids or whatever, it's like, yeah, focus. That's what I've always tried to do is focus what you're good on in this business model because
yeah.
you can just go down rabbit holes as well. Like even with the marketing, like that's the biggest thing I do now is my own marketing on Instagram and that sort of stuff. And well, I was running 4 Instagram accounts. I just had one suspended.
Mm.
But it's, that even that just takes so much time and that you can always be perfecting something or you get an output on Kling and it's like, oh, I want to try that again. It's not quite perfect. And
Yeah,
next thing you know, you started at 7 p.m. and it's, 1 o'clock in the morning.
yeah.
So
Yeah, totally. Yeah, totally. That's the thing. It really is just best to focus again on what you're good at, like you said,
yeah,
right? And the content creation, like content is really king no matter what, right? Where it's like, okay, just makes sense again. How can I get the highest quality content possible? Because that's going to get you the most eyeballs with all your marketing. And
yeah,
then again, you can just flood all your account and it's basically, you have these chatting team, basically sales guys, as I call them, on, the account. They
yeah.
manage it well, right? It's pretty easy to, swap out chatters if someone isn't good as well. How many did you outsource that to a company, or I guess did you hire chatters yourself?
I use Chatterlink.
Okay, all right, cool, nice,
Yeah.
nice, awesome. Okay, cool, yeah. So that's one thing I always recommend, right? Again, just find an agency like Chatterlink. For me, again, it's really the same sort of thing. Like use them just for a lot of, different services specifically for the models, and yeah, really go from there.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I guess with those other business models that you've tried in the past, I guess was there something missing from those specifically that you noticed? Because it was like you mentioned before with drop shipping, but you tried, I guess, affiliate marketing and some other things too. Like, was there something missing from those? I'm just curious.
I feel like I really clicked with this business model. And again, I don't know if that makes me weird, but I've enjoyed the work more.
Yeah.
And because of that, it's been easier for me to put in the hours and keep going it because I've enjoyed doing it.
Yeah.
When I was doing the drop shipping, I was still putting in the work, but I don't know if I was quite working as hard as I could have.
Yeah.
Because I again, I'm not really into golf and I was trying to sell golf bags,
Yeah.
and creating these creatives and stuff. It was more of a grind and I really had to force myself to do this. I still have to be disciplined and do this, but I find it much easier to do
Mm.
than drop shipping.
Okay. Yeah. Nice. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense too. And yeah, I don't know, just this technology just seems like it's moving so quickly. Like just these new tools that have come out, I'm sure you've seen, right? Like Kling motion control is insane. Because yeah, I've been doing some crazy stuff with that. So when I started a couple years ago, like the technology was hard. Like it took a lot of time to do it. So that was really one thing with me when I first got into this, where I'm like, hey, like, like these other business models, I've tried them. I've made a lot of money in other business models. Like I don't know if you've bought other courses before. Like literally every
Yep.
course I bought before, I've ROI'd on it. It's just, the margins weren't there. In some cases, it would kind of work for a while and then die down. I have to be like, okay, like what's the next sort of thing? With this, for me, it's been very consistent as well. Um, but I guess with this, like, what made this different from the other opportunities as well? Like, was it just something where, again, you saw, I guess you just mentioned, you're like, ah, this was just very interesting. Like, is that one of the main reasons or?
Very interesting. It clicked with me well. And also, I feel like, especially, and I think people are still at that stage, but I felt like I was kind of before the masses were in.
Yeah, true.
It's definitely because I started in July, and there's definitely even more AI models now
Yeah,
in February 2026 than there was when I started. But when I got into it, I thought, yeah, like a lot of people aren't doing this. When I heard about it on Instagram, I was scrolling reels that day. It was the first time I'd ever come across it. Whereas drop shipping's been around for well over a decade,
yeah,
right? It's very saturated, and I didn't
yeah.
feel like this was that saturated. And further to what you just said as well, it's crazy how much the technology's changed because my work process and everything is completely different from when I started.
Yeah.
Nothing's the same. Like
Yeah.
it's all I use all different tools. Everything's different.
Yeah, exactly. Because when I first started, it was all SDXL, like Stable Diffusion stuff, right? And
Yeah.
Midjourney, like that was it. And even Midjourney, like I still can't build a consistent character in Midjourney to this day. I just tried the latest version. I'm like, I still can't do what I can do in these other tools. So the main tools that I used were Automatic 1111 and Focus. Like they were the main two tools that I had to do everything. And it took
Yeah.
forever to build my first model. And even then, it wasn't the best. And I was just like, launch him perfectly, had my first Instagram account banned, right? Whatever that happens,
Yeah.
I'm just like, whatever, just be consistent. I know it's gonna pop off at some point. And then sure enough, like you, right, just had one reel that just like goes viral. Did, like I think like in a few days it did like a couple million views and then went on to do like
Yeah.
15, 20 million views. And it's just like, oh my God. And that that's all you need too, right? Is that one reel that just pops off, goes insane, and that just floods your account basically. And that's just one platform, right? There's obviously, like other things. I'm curious with you, when you first saw this stuff, like were you skeptical at all? Were you like, okay, this is like, this is absolute, like, there's no way this can be true.
I think I was a little skeptical that there's actually dudes out there willing to buy
Yeah.
AI content. I
Yeah.
mean, I never tried the business model. I was interested in OnlyFans management as well before I tried this, but I never dipped my toes in it.
Yeah.
I didn't really know how to get into it. I thought there was quite a high barrier to entry because you
Yeah.
either needed to know a girl in real life who was interested in doing it or sign a model.
Yeah.
So that's what I was skeptical of. I'm like, is there actually guys who are gonna pay for, like, why
Yeah.
would you pay for an AI model if you can hop on OnlyFans and interact with a real girl, even though,
Yeah.
you're still interacting with the chatter or something like that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that was the only thing I was really skeptical of. The rest of it, I mean, I understood the premise of how it worked. Okay, yeah, you funnel people over, they're on this site, they're chatting, whatever. It's high impulse buying. It was just, are people gonna buy AI content?
Yeah, yeah, that was my biggest thing, right? But the thing, I don't know if you've noticed, like, I don't know, these guys, they just don't really care. It's still like just pixels on a screen. And I was watching someone recently, they're like, yeah, like, because this one dude who's like big in the OFM space, and he was
Yeah.
basically saying something where he's like, hey, like, he's like, these guys don't care. They don't even know what a real woman looks like in the real world as well in a lot of cases. And even then with AI, you can kind of, make it like, I'm trying to remember the psychological term for it, but it's like you make it, I think it's called a super normal releaser, where it's something like so insanely, above what you would see. It just like is basically like an 11 out of 10 perfect that, the guy sees and he's just like, oh my God, like it's just something new he's never seen before.
Yeah, that's just that. I think there's a lot of them who don't know it's AI.
Yeah,
So that happens. And but then also, I think for a lot of these people who are purchasing this stuff, it's about like the human connection,
definitely.
and
Absolutely.
they're talking to a real chatter, right?
Yeah.
And that's enough. And then they understand how it works, and they just buy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
It
it's
just
it's
happens.
yeah, it's crazy. They do definitely get connected. Like I've had some subscribers at this point who have been around for 2 years on one model, right? Where again they're in that
Wow.
like longer term thing and they're still around like buying content. Like one guy even this past weekend, I'm like, really? Like he's still around? Like, I kind of you get those messages where it's like, oh, so and so bought it. And I'm like, really? Like that guy's still around? Like he was one of my first subscriber from almost 2 years ago and he's still around buying content, at least once a month, just kind of like checking back in, supporting the model. And it's like again, like you have to know it's AI because I don't know about you, but like all my Instagrams now, I say it's AI, and even
Yeah,
then
yeah.
on FanView, I say it's AI, and even
Yep.
then, if the guys come in, they ask, it's like, yeah, I'm AI. I don't know if you've tried this, but like one of the biggest things that I've made a lot off is when the guys came in and they're like, hey, are you AI? I would really like lean into it too, or be like, yeah, it's AI, like but I always say it's like what was my classic thing? I'm like, yeah, I'm AI, but I'm better than any girl you've ever met in the real world. And again, some guys they would get completely turned off. But then
Yeah.
some of the guys would just be like so into it, right? And I think a lot of that too is from priming over time through these movies where you see these like feet like AI girls, right? Like Blade Runner 2049. I remember there was like Joy in that movie that was kind of like that, and there's been other movies like Her where they kind of have these AI girlfriends. So it is kind of a growing thing where I guess it's becoming not necessarily accepted, but a lot of guys I guess just been primed to kind of start to look into this sort of thing. Yeah,
Yeah, I think it is becoming more acceptable. And I mean, I put AI labels on everything too. I got the AI label on FanView. I put AI labels on all my content. Of course, I mean the content's realistic,
yeah,
but the AI labels are there. But yeah, I think it is just about the connection, and these guys. It's all fantasy,
yeah,
right? So if the fantasy's being played into, I don't think they really care. I mean,
yeah.
it's not super different than subscribing to, I don't know, Sophie Rain's OnlyFans.
Exactly. Yeah.
You have to be a complete moron to think that you're subscribing to Sophie
Yeah.
Rain's OnlyFans and chatting with Sophie Rain when she's posting from her private jet on her
Yeah.
Instagram or
Yeah.
whatever, right? So it's the same thing. It's all just fantasy and stuff in people's heads, and I guess people just got disposable income and they don't know what to spend it on, and they pick AI models, which works for me.
Yeah. Same. Same. Yeah.
It's all
Exactly.
good.
Yeah. And I guess with our mentorship, like what was the main thing that I guess just made you go ahead and decide to join first of all?
Well, again, it wasn't the first course that I purchased. So I've
Yeah.
always, like, when I start to do things or I try business models, I always look for, okay, like, how can I accelerate this? Not necessarily do it for me, but how can I get the best information? I hate trying to piece YouTube videos together, like, okay, this guy's got a tutorial on this. I don't have time
Yeah.
for that. So
Yeah.
the biggest reason why I wanted to join was just, okay, I want the most up-to-date information. I think being in a community of people helps a lot as well. Just seeing other people, one, having successes, but also what they're struggling with as well. So I
Mhm.
know what to expect. But yeah, that's why I joined. I just wanted to get into it quickly because I like doing things with speed. I didn't want to be messing around on,
Totally.
like I said, piecing together YouTube tutorials. And it's funny because I have a friend who tried to get into this around the same time as me, and he hasn't gone anywhere with it. And
Yeah.
I've tried to give him little tidbits of stuff, but I've been so focused on my own. It's like, yeah, you got to join something, and you've got to just get information from people who know what they're doing and how they're doing it so
Yeah.
that you can implement it
Yeah.
yourself, or else it's very difficult. It's very
Yeah.
difficult.
And you still have to put in the work too. That's the thing, right? But the thing is with this,
Yeah.
it's like it's not very expensive as well, I've noticed. We're just creating the content again. You get a few AI tools, you figure it out. It's like, okay, creating the content's not that big. Sure, you have to get a phone or whatever to do the marketing, but
Yeah.
even then it's like it's not the barrier, the cost I would say is very low. And even then
Yeah.
if it, if like the first model or the first account doesn't work, whatever, it doesn't really, now you have those skills, you can create another one probably faster and cheaper than you did the second one.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's one thing. And I guess with the mentorship, like what's your experience been so far? Because you've been in since July last year. So I think you've been in what, like 8 months, I guess, 7 or 8 months now. But I guess
Yeah.
what's your experience been so far?
Yeah, it's been great. All the coaches are really good. I mean, I learned a lot from the course. I haven't been the most active person in the community chats or whatever, just because I'm so busy. And then when I'm
Yeah,
at home, I'm not
totally.
chatting. I'm
Yeah.
working on this,
Yeah.
but I read everything. And I love seeing everything and seeing other people's successes. Yeah, coaches have been great, asking a lot of questions. They always have good answers. And yeah, I mean, I think it was the biggest roadblock I hit is I think I made my first like two and a half, $3,000 on FanView, and then my Instagram account with like 24K followers got nuked.
Yeah.
And it was just good to be in that group and seeing other people still doing it and just being able
Yeah.
to talk to the coaches and talking to people. Okay, don't give up here. And I'm glad I didn't give up because, shortly after that account got nuked, I hit 10K
There you go.
in a
Okay.
month.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
exactly. Yeah, because that's the thing. You still get those subscribers and they still stick around, all the guys that you got. And when you start the
yeah,
new one, those guys who were interested in the model, they do find it regardless. They're like, what happened to her? Right. So they
yeah.
do,
Well,
kind of find you as well.
you know what's crazy? So I ended up that Instagram account that got banned, I ended up paying for an unban on that just to get that
Okay.
unbanned. And it very quickly paid for itself because I think the second or third reel I posted after getting unbanned was the one that did 8 million views. And it just skyrocketed. And it was funny because that reel as well, I remember it was a rushed reel. I think I had to go out for dinner or something, and I was trying to get it out. I'm like, you know what? Okay, whatever. Use this generation, stupid text
Yeah.
caption, posted. And then next morning I woke up and it was at like 1.5 million. I was like, of all the reels, that's one
That's
of the one I spent the least
That's
amount of
crazy
time
because
on.
that's the same thing that happened with me like two
Yeah.
years ago. So 2 years ago, I'm working a full-time job, like working remotely, like, pretty much like, I don't know, 10 hours a day in my remote job, right? And then and I've been trying this stuff for like, 3 months or so and nothing like had happened. I started to get some traction too, where it's like, oh, I'm starting to get some traction on, the second Instagram account after the first one got banned. And then after this happens, one of my buddies, like I was going through this like rough relationship. I broke up with this girl, just like cut it off. And then the Friday, he's like, hey, like he works in the movie industry. He's like, hey man, like, I have some extra work. You've been, asking me like, hey, do you want a couple more bucks? And I'm like, yeah, sure, like whatever, right? Just he literally messages me at like 4 in the morning. I reply at like, 4:45 or something, just randomly see the message. I'm like, hey, I'll take the work, right? Work that whole weekend. This Saturday night, like that was on the Friday. I worked all Friday, worked all Saturday, and the Saturday night. And in the meantime, right, like when I would get a break, I would still be on the phone for the model, like posting,
Yeah.
engaging, doing stuff. So at like the night of the Saturday, I'm just like it was the same thing. I post this one reel. I wake up the next day. I like open my phone. I'm like, what happened? It's like you got a new tip, you got a new purchase, like you have
Yeah.
like 78 new subscribers, and I'm just like what the heck just happened? Like, this is absolutely insane. And I'm like, okay, I need to go and work. I work for the whole day. I come back later and it's like just popping off. And I didn't have a chance to check the Instagram. And I go and it's like, oh, I did like, 2 million views basically
Yeah.
overnight, right? Where you just post that one reel. And it was a very rushed one, like you said. And it just was like, okay, whatever. Just kind of like, no matter what, as long as you're consistent, you never know
Yeah.
what reel is going to pop off. But I think like that pressure to be creative in those moments, like it does it puts a lot of pressure and you kind of have to just do it no matter what. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where it
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
makes you, it makes you create something, I guess, that you never thought was possible just because your time is so limited and you put all this pressure and it's like, okay, I just did it no matter what. And just one of those goes crazy. But yeah, it's the same thing with me where, yeah, you just have that one reel where it felt a little bit rushed. And that was the one that, made me the most money basically.
Yeah, and like with mine as well. Again, it was rushed, and I'm like, that one will never go viral or anything. I
Yeah.
didn't think anything of it. I've spent way more time on other reels that have done
Yeah.
way worse than that one did.
Yeah.
Um, but I know for a fact it was a unique idea I had because I wasn't scrolling. I'm like, hey, I'm going to copy that one or try and do this one or put my own spin on it. It was my own unique thing. I mean, to a certain degree, and it's crazy because after it went viral, I saw other model accounts copying it and stuff, and it
Definitely,
was
of
getting like
course.
3 million views, 4 million views on their accounts.
Yeah.
Blatant copies, I don't care. But it was just like,
Yeah,
that's
that's gonna
insane.
happen no
I
matter
came up
what.
with that.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly right. It's like what's that old Salvador Dali? It's like good artists copy, great artists steal. Like, once you
Yeah.
create the good thing, like there's gonna be people that just steal your stuff. And again, you have no control, right? Instagram, they don't crack down on that, unfortunately, right? That's just the way that they are. It's like, sorry, like they don't really
I
they
thought in this case, I thought it was kind of cool because it's
yeah.
like I started that, or at least I think I started that
Yeah.
trend. So
Yeah, awesome. I guess with this too, like I know you mentioned you had that one guy who spent almost $1,000 in a day. I guess like what's been
yeah.
your biggest like I guess day or week or month? I'm curious.
I think I just had it on Saturday, like 2 days ago, and I think I did 1,400
Nice.
in
Okay.
that day. Uh,
Crazy.
biggest month was almost 11, and I
Okay.
think right now I'm sitting at about 7,700 for February.
Okay,
So
nice.
I might beat that. It is a short month, but we do have
Yeah.
2 full weeks left, basically.
Awesome. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And I guess like other than the numbers, I know you work a lot, but like has your day-to-day life changed at all as well? Because again, I know you're working a full-time job and stuff, but like I'm curious what that looks like as well.
My day-to-day life is still pretty much the same, but the one and most of the money I've made from this, I've just kind of put back into the business, like paying for more content creation tools,
Yeah.
trying new things, Instagram shout outs, stuff like that. I've just put it all back into it. But I've also got a baby on the way, so it's
Yeah.
helped fund some of that stuff.
Totally. Yeah.
But no Rolexes, no
Yeah.
Lamborghinis yet or
No,
anything
just
like that.
spend that on the
One
baby.
day.
Trust me. Like, get a
Yeah.
nice crib, you know what I'm saying? Like get a
Well,
nice
we got
car
that.
seat, get some what is it, like baby formula. I know and I know in Canada they started locking it up because they were stealing it so much, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, if you can actually, go in there and get that, yeah, I would focus on that. That's awesome to hear, man.
But that's obviously
Congratulations though too on that.
thank you, appreciate it. It's obviously a big expense though, and I've been able to fund most of it through this, so
Awesome.
that
Awesome.
works.
So I guess from here, like what's next for you? Like, are you going to just continue scaling this model? Are you going to build other models? I'm just curious.
I'm gonna keep, yeah, I've been thinking about that a lot lately. Actually, I'm gonna keep trying to scale this model because the way I see it is all the systems are in place now. Like I've got this great vault of NSFW content. I've got 2 Instagram accounts that are doing really well, a third one that's quite newer. So I'm gonna try and do one more Instagram because I had a fourth, but it got banned. But just continue try to mass exposure for this model. Try to funnel as many people in there because this one's proven to make money, and I
Yeah.
think I can scale it even more. I think more is possible for sure. And for right now, it makes sense to keep putting my time and effort into this because the tools are there. It's harder to
Yeah.
get another one off the ground.
True. True.
But I am interested in starting another one at some point. It's just I'm gonna have to see what my life looks like
Yeah.
here in the next couple months with timing and stuff because
Totally.
they do take a lot of time to make. It's not, and they take a lot of time to make if you want to do them well.
Yeah.
Like I feel like, yeah, I can mass produce Instagram marketing content and stuff very quickly. But in order to truly have a good niche and then do something unique, it's got to come from your own mind
Yeah.
type thing and your imagination. And to make really good content and pay attention to the subtle details, it is time consuming. So another model I'm a little bit interested in, and I know this isn't something that's taught in the mentorship at least yet, but like hybrid OFM as well.
Yeah.
Kind of combining a real girl, but using an AI version of herself to do
Mhm.
all the marketing. I'm very interested in that because that sounds it's the best of both worlds.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
Because there's
but
there's a lot of models out there where you see they have an OnlyFans, but you see the content, it's like, oh, it's
it's like
clearly AI, and then like I click and I'm like, oh, okay, so they're just using that as the marketing, and then it's the actual girl, I guess, selling all the stuff on the back end in OnlyFans. Yeah,
yeah, but I mean, and one reason for that is when I was looking into OnlyFans before starting AI OnlyFans, I was like, well, one of the biggest challenges would be trying to coordinate with this
yeah,
person or a girl to make the content and stuff. One thing I've
yeah,
loved about this is, hey, I get home at 6 o'clock. Okay, I've got this 3 hour window. I sit, I open my laptop, boom, I can just work. I'm not relying on someone else to do stuff.
exactly. Yeah,
But with something like that, it's interesting to me because it's like, okay, I to some degree, I would still be in charge of the marketing and stuff, right? If you got
yeah,
this AI version of a person.
yeah,
But yeah, I think for like the next month or so, just continue to focus on scaling my main account that I have now. I think there's more opportunity there for sure. It's just a numbers game, getting people in, getting exposure, and
awesome.
getting clicks, and the rest happens.
Do you run it all like from like one device, or do you have like multiple devices at this point, I guess?
Oh, I've got like I think some of my iPhones are in my
Okay,
room.
all
I've
right,
got I've got 2 iPhones
okay.
here, iPhone
All
here.
right,
I've
there you
got
go.
another
Yeah,
another iPhone
trust me,
here.
I got a bunch here too. Like I got
There's an iPhone in
file
this
here.
box
I
here.
got just these alone right here. So
Yeah.
yeah. Oops, almost
No,
bumped him.
everything on different devices. I don't. I know that it's apparently it's okay to have multiple Instagrams on one device, but after I got that account nuked,
Yeah,
I for me
paranoia.
it's paranoia and like I don't know where you've bought your iPhones, but I've got these on like a used phone marketplace online and they're like a couple $100 each and I haven't had a problem
Yeah,
with any one of them.
I
So
just
it's
I just
worth
get the
it.
refurbished ones on Amazon. Like that's just
Yeah.
literally what I do. I'm just like, okay, there's a bunch of local places. It's like you, right? There's like I think there's even a Canadian Depot you can get a bunch of them from. And yeah, like with me, I don't know what your setup is, but basically I have my phones and then I have like a pooled data plan. I still have an original SIM card in each phone, and then I basically have like a pooled data plan where it just because this way with all the data it creates the IP address dynamically.
Yeah.
But I've had, so this is funny. I don't know, you'll appreciate this because you're Canadian. I've had the most success on the phones when I've gone to Dollarama and gotten a Lucky SIM card, okay? Like
Yeah.
Lucky Mobile, I've had the most success doing those because they're like $4 for the SIM card. The
Yeah.
cheapest plan is $19 a month with those Canadian.
Yeah.
I like that's kind of part of my own warm-up
Well,
process. I don't know if it's like Lucky helped do everything, but that's kind of my process, yeah.
do you know Fizz Mobile?
Yeah, I do.
That's who I use on my phone. Same
Okay,
thing.
so
It's
it's
like a
basically the
three
same.
dollar
It's very
SIM card
similar to
from
Lucky. Yeah, okay.
yeah, from seven. There's a Circle K just near my place here, and I
Okay.
go pick up the SIM cards there. And yeah, it's like $19 a month for a data
Yeah,
only plan, which is what I use. I don't have a pooled data plan, but I should probably look into that. But
yeah,
it's so cheap anyways. Like,
yeah,
a
that's the
couple
thing.
subs pays for my phone plans. I haven't
Yeah.
really
Yeah. Because I
thought
think that's
about
one
it.
people they hear this. It's like, oh, you got to get a phone and then you got to get a plan. I remember when I was originally like, oh, and I was an Android guy back in the day. And I'm like, oh man, now I have to figure out how to use an iPhone. So that for
Yeah.
me was just like, oh, whatever. I'm just going to, again, just do it no matter what. I set it up. And again, once I started seeing traction, I'm like, oh, okay, now I see. Because again, I think Meta and Apple, they have some sort of agreement where they favor each other for some reason, for whatever. I probably just,
Yeah.
again, they're both Silicon Valley companies. So they just favor each other. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I just found that these lesser known things like yeah like Lucky, Fizz, even just Virgin Mobile, they're owned by the other big telecommunication companies, but just I guess they're smaller ones like for whatever reason.
You
And
know,
yeah, the phone numbers I always get 2 or 4 1 6 1s, which is crazy here in Toronto, which is unheard of. Like at this point, usually with those you're going to get some like not even a 647 or a 437, like 416 numbers, the original Toronto ones, where I'm like, okay, this just adds more credibility to the account right away. So
yeah. You know what's funny too is like this Fizz Mobile is I get better coverage on these iPhones in some places than my personal phone is on Rogers. Um, and sometimes Fizz does better. It's
yeah.
weird. It makes me wonder, should I switch my own phone to this as well? I haven't done
Yeah.
that yet though.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, I mean, potentially, yeah. Awesome. With the mentorship too, like I guess what's something I guess someone you wish someone had told you before you joined the program?
Um, I was looking at that question beforehand, and I'm not sure because I mean, it's going to be a lot of work, but I already knew that. Like, I already
Yeah,
know because I've done this sort of stuff before that, hey, courses aren't, it's not a done for you thing.
yeah,
It's an accelerator, right?
yeah,
It helps you if you're ready to put in the work and you're ready to sit and study and learn and do all of that. It's going to speed that process up for you, but you still have to physically do it.
yeah,
So maybe that's something I would tell someone who's thinking about joining. But I knew that going in because I've purchased courses
yeah,
before and I've been through this whole thing. But no, like since I got in, I thought it was great. It's one of the better communities I've actually, it's probably the best community I've ever been in. I've had the best ROI on this course out of any of the other ones I've ever
yeah.
taken. It's just been really great. I don't have anything negative to say, really.
Awesome.
It's been everything I thought it would be. And yeah,
Nice. Awesome. And I guess if someone was watching and they're thinking like, it worked for him, but it wouldn't work for me, what would you say to that?
anybody can do it. Anybody can make it work for themselves. It's just we all have the same amount of time in a day. Um, and I've been working the last 3 years at my actual job, like Monday to Saturday, leave my house at 6:20 in the morning, and I'm usually home at 6:30, 6:40 at night. And I was able to do it. Um, so anyone can do it. It's just you have to be disciplined. You probably
Exactly.
have to sacrifice something else as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might mean not going out to the bar on Friday night or whatever, just putting in the hours, just find the time to do it and lock in. But
Awesome.
we all have 24 hours in a day.
Awesome. And if someone was on the fence right now, they're kind of like, should I join the mentorship? What would you say to them?
Yes, if you actually want to do this, like if you're just dipping your toes in it and you kind of want to
Yeah.
experiment, You just have to be honest with yourself, right? Like, or if you really want to do this, you're like, okay, I want to start this business model. I want to make 3K, 5K, 10K, 20K a month. Then yeah, you should join if you're committed. But if you're just trying to experiment, I would say play around with some of these tools, play around with some of the free stuff. There's I think, I don't know, is the entry level course still
Yeah, it
$47?
is. Yeah. We're going
Yeah,
to be raising the price very soon, actually. And like there'll be an ongoing monthly thing just because we're like, we can't just keep doing this for 47, but it's still
it's
$47 at this point. Yeah.
so make like join that and play around with it and see if it's something you're interested in. And if you're interested in it, you're going, yeah, okay, I can, I'm enjoying this. I can see this working. Then and you want to do it quickly, join the mentorship for sure.
Awesome. Awesome, man.
Because you'll make your money back. You just have to try.
Yeah,
Because all you got to do is
exactly.
try. If you try, you can't fail.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Right on, man. Well, yeah, man, this was really fire, honestly. Like it's good to, see another Canadian at the same time be very successful and kind of,
I
discuss some stuff because yeah, I haven't really met too many other people in the
there's
country who do this business model. So,
Yeah, I think there's a student in there who just joined. He's also from BC.
okay.
I was chatting to him in the
Nice.
DMs yesterday. So
Okay,
there's a
awesome.
couple of us.
Okay, awesome. Well, I hope, he's successful and yeah, we can just dominate here, just for some Canadian pride at this point.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, that was it, man. I really appreciate you taking the time for talking with us. I think, yeah, this is anyone will get a lot of value over this if they're, even if they've been in this business model for a while, they'll definitely learn some new stuff. But yeah, man, really think this will resonate with a lot of people, man. But yeah, man, thank you. I want you to continue keeping what you're doing again, man. Congrats on the new baby, man.
Oh,
Take
thank you.
care of that. Don't be balling out on Rolexes and, Ferraris and stuff. Just, invest
No,
on that baby, and yeah, man, very excited to see what the future has for you.
perfect. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And no, I enjoyed doing this today. It was good. Thanks for taking the time and inviting me on.
Awesome, man. Well, that's it, guys. I'll hope to see you guys in the next episode. And yeah, we'll catch you in a bit later.